Emir, because a lot of the people watching us have not been to the memorial because of travel restrictions, I want to speak about what I saw and what left an impression on me. And I want to ask you about this particular engraved list that you, Emir Sulagiq, the translator of the Dutch battalion that was supposed to take care of the local population, you had this list. Can you tell us the story of that list?
As a matter of fact, I was working, my contract was with an outfit that was called United Nations Military Observers. And we all found ourselves at this place, at the memorial, well, what is today memorial, that back then was the headquarters or the base of the Dutch battalion. And when it was I and a couple of other people who actually opened a hole in the fence to allow people to come in, because we believed that they would be safer there.
So you did that clandestinely?
No, not really. I mean, eventually there were Dutch soldiers there and so on. So by the end of that day, by the end of July 11th, there were about 5,000 to 6,000 people there. And early in the morning of July 12th, I realized, I knew it from the get-go, because pretty much my entire family was killed already in 1992. So I knew...
How was your entire family in Bratunac, right?
Yeah.
In the village next to Srebrenica?
Yes.
Killed in what?
Well, I mean, the Serbs came, they told them that, okay, we're going to evacuate you. They put them on the buses, drove them about 30 kilometers, took the men off, let the women and children pass, shot them, kept the men in a camp for about a month, and then shot them all.
And what were they to you?
My whole family, the people I grew up with, they were the descendants of either my grandfather or his brother, and we lived very nearby, very close by each other. I grew up with all of these, and then the remaining 5 relatives of mine were killed in 1995. So I knew from the get-go that they were going to kill them. So on the morning of July 12th, when the Serbs came in, we said, I don't even know how it came about, but I realized, at one point we said, okay, listen, let's go around and write down the names of all men and boys who are here. And then we'll take that list to, and we did, to the deputy commander of the Dutch battalion. His name was, and still is, Major Robert Franken. And we said to Mr. Franken, this is a list of men and boys in this base. Would you please make sure that this list gets somewhere outside of here so that people at least know, and that the Serbs know, that their names are registered. So that was our idea, that the Serbs would think twice before killing them, because the world knew.
Registered.
Yeah, because the world knew about them.
Can you just go back to why were you taking names of boys and men?
Because that was my experience from 1992.
Because you knew they were going to go after killing men.
They lined up the Sulagiq family and shot them, including a 17-year-old boy who survived, who is my closest relative, who lives in St. Louis now. His name is Emir Sulagiq. He survived a mass execution site in May 1992, on my birthday, on May 21st.
So you write the list, and you give it to the Dutch battalion head.
And they promised, this guy promises us that he would send the list to the UN headquarters in Geneva, New York, wherever, Sarajevo, Zagreb, wherever. And then, and we were like, okay, good. We wrote a, we wrote a Schindler list. They're going to make it. They're going to get out alive.
Save them.
Yeah.
Save list.
And then, then we came to Zagreb. Hasan Nuhanovic, myself, and a couple of other people. And we went to the UN headquarters, and we asked about the list. And everyone said, what list? It turns out the list never left Potocari. And it was found somewhere in a drawer somewhere in the UN headquarters in Zagreb in August 1995.
What I want to share now with the audience is the most striking video I saw while visiting Srebrenica Memorial 2 months ago, which is the celebrations. You talked about Zagreb when the Dutch troops retreated and left the Muslims alone. They ended up celebrating.
This is July 22nd.
So,
and this is in Zagreb. And
what are they doing?
well, not a lot of these guys are feeling like celebrating, to be completely honest. And even today, I don't blame them. What happened there was a failure of leadership. And it was a failure of leadership at the battalion level. It was a failure of leadership in The Hague. It was a failure of leadership at the ministry, at the level of the Dutch Ministry of Defense. But honest to God, I don't blame any of these guys. They were 19, 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds who did what they were told. And I believe strongly that if they were told by their officers to fight it out, to shoot at the Serbs, they would do it, because that's what soldiers do. However, what happened here is that simply there was a coward in charge of the battalion and a very cynical man who was deputy commander. And this is the outcome. But honestly, even today, I don't believe that this reflects the behavior, that this justly reflects what these boys did in Srebrenica. Yes, I know how it looks, and I'm not defending them. I have no.
I know.
I have no intention of defending
anyone. Did they know
anyone.
what's going on?
I'm pretty sure that a lot of them did.
Yeah.
At least the officers certainly knew. And the officers knew because we went to them. I did that myself a million times. And I said, they're going to kill everyone. They're going to kill every single man that they can get their hands on. Because that's what they did in Croatia. That's what they did in Bosnia. That's what they will actually later do in Kosovo. They wouldn't believe us. They didn't believe us.
You see, my worry is that they believed us